Hello and welcome back to the Tarot&Talks YouTube channel, a channel where I post tarot readings mostly about various cultural and political events and people, tarot readings about your zodiac signs, astrological events and how they influence you, and just videos of me talking about stuff that I find interesting. And in today's video, I will actually, for the first time ever on this channel, talk about just a topic without any tarot reading or whatever, just to discuss a topic I find interesting. And it is a topic that I brought up in one of my previous videos, and it is a topic of the Russian spirituality, the Russian belief system basically. Because most of you, when you think about Russia, you think about Orthodox Christianity, and you are correct. Russia predominantly is an Orthodox Christian country. We've adopted Christianity back in 10th century, in 900 something year. Sorry, I'm blanking. I don't really remember what 988, if I'm not mistaken, was the year that we officially adopted Christianity. But then you have to remember that Russia actually is a multicultural and multinational country. We have according to the census, the last census, I guess, we have more than 100 different nationalities living in Russia. So a lot of people, a lot of nationalities, a lot of beliefs. I believe that all of the main religions are represented in Russia, because we got Christianity and many types of Christianity, because we've got what do we have? We have Catholicism, we have Protestantism, Baptism. I believe we also have even some sects, some cult Christian branches. We also have. I won't name them. I think you understand what I'm talking about. We obviously got Muslim, Islam. We got Buddhism. We got Hinduism. We don't have. Maybe we have, but in a smaller quantity, and it's imported. Whereas Islam and Buddhism we have just naturally, because we have those territories in Russia. We also got a lot of pagan beliefs still, very popular in Buryatia region, which is near Lake Baikal, in Yakutia region, which is deep Siberia, and many other pagan religions that perhaps I'm not remembering. But main religion in Russia still is Orthodox Christianity. But I don't know. First of all, Orthodox Christianity, of course, is very, very much different from the Christianity that you have, for example, in the US. And from what I see in my YouTube statistics, most of the people on my channel are from the US. So Orthodox Christianity is very different from that. Our belief system, I think, the most important difference from what type of Christianity that you have in the US is that Orthodoxy is very much removed from the people, in terms of, I think that people in the US, for example, they mostly have a very personal relationship with Christ, and it's not, how do I put it, it's not strange, for example, to see and hear people in the US saying that God talks to me, God revealed his ways to me, God supports me, Jesus is my best friend, Lana Del Rey sings. And in Russia and in Orthodoxy, I think that it is very much removed. God is very far away from you, basically. At least in my experience, God is very, very far away from you in Orthodoxy. And obviously you are taught to talk to God, and you are taught to that God loves you, etc. But still, it doesn't feel so close to you, so personal. It's very much not even regulated, but it's very ritualistic, basically. It's very ritualistic. It's very much based on the appearances even. So for example, why are cathedrals and churches in Russia are so beautiful? Because because like you have to show the splendor of God's kingdom on earth, and like that's what also like what Catholicism conveys, and like that's also what Orthodox Christianity also conveys. And as is it is very ritualistic, it also like removes you from God. Like I mean, like it makes the distance from you to God, I think, much longer, because like you cannot simply talk to God directly. You have to go through the church and the priests. You have to pray. You have to pray correctly. You have to do this and that, and like that's what my opinion is about the Orthodox Christianity in that manner. The other thing that is very important about Orthodox Christianity, and what I think is important about Orthodox Christianity in terms of like how it is believed in Russia, especially, because like I can only talk about Russia, and like also like as a disclaimer, I'm talking about my experiences. I'm not a specialist in religion. I'm just a Russian person who has lived in Russia my entire life, and who just wants to share his experiences with like Russian religion and Russian spirituality and beliefs. So Orthodoxy in Russia, in my opinion, it's very much based on, how to say it, like it's almost pagan in a way, because you don't just pray to God. Well, you obviously do, and like when there are like masses, like ceremonies held at church, basically, or when you come to church to pray, you pray to God and to Mary and Jesus and whatever. But like most of the time, if I would just to come to a church, there are these like icons everywhere, these like little altars, and you don't obviously don't have an altar to God, because like you don't have even an image of God anywhere. Well, because you cannot you cannot picture God. You know, it's such a being that it's almost impossible to picture. Of course, like there are some churches where they have God pictured, and in Catholicism and in Orthodox Christianity, but like still, it's not Jesus. It's not such an vivid imagery, basically, such a well-known imagery. Um, so yeah, when you come to a Russian church, you don't pray to God. You go to the specific icon of a specific saint or whomever, and you pray to them for a specific purpose. I don't, because like I'm not too much into Christianity. I don't know like a lot, but like for example, if you're a woman, you're better to go to pray to Holy Mary. If you want like some help with your health condition, you better to go to pray to the icon of this saint. If you want to get like a promotion on your job, you better to go to icon of that saint to pray. If you want to defeat your enemies, for example, you are facing some animosity in your life and some obstacles, you better like find an icon of a saint who also fought during his life, fought for Christianity, for example, and you pray to them. And in that regard, I think, and it is a nice like segue into the next section, I think that Russian Orthodoxy, like it tried very hard to fight against Russian pagan beliefs that were prevalent before the 10th century, and it tried really hard to fight against them. And like this fight was quite kind of successful in a way, because we don't really know much, unfortunately, about Russian, like not even like Russian, but like Slavonic mythology and beliefs predating Christianity, because well, Christianity did a very good job at erasing this history. And like, well, I don't like it. I think that no history should be erased. You may dislike the history that you have, but you should remember it always. And it should be up to study always. And Orthodoxy, when it came to Russia, it did a pretty good job of getting rid of any kind of historical documents that could be there. But also, not a lot of historical documents were there when Orthodoxy came to Russia, because predating Orthodoxy, Slavonic tribes that lived in the territories of modern Western Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, maybe even, and whatever, maybe some Baltic countries. So the Slavonic folks that lived there, they didn't like have a particular writing system even. So it was it wasn't easy for them to have those like records of their mythology and beliefs, because like they couldn't properly write it down. They mostly had their beliefs incarnated, if I might say, in their idols, in maybe some carvings and whatever, but like no proper documents. It's not Rome, it's not Greece, unfortunately. No proper documentation, no books, no scrolls, no anything. And what I was talking about is that, first of all, Christianity erased a lot of, and tried to erase a lot of like Slavonic mythology, and it did a good job at destroying the material artifacts of that, but it didn't do a good job of destroying the spirit of the Russian pagan belief system. Because why we have today this belief that you should go to a church and pray to a certain saint is in part, at least, because of the pagan beliefs that were still very strong in people even when Russia adopted Christianity. So they, to make it seem like easier for them to make the transition from one belief system to another easier, they kind of transposed the powers that pagan gods had, and gave those powers to the Orthodox saints, Christianity saints. So now, well, not now, but like after after Russia adopted Christianity, we got Christian saints that were acting like pagan gods. And that's why right now we have Russian people coming to churches, and if you have a specific problem, you go to a specific saint and you pray to their imagery, to their altar, to their icon. You take your candle, you lit it up, you put this candle on an altar, and you pray to them. You ask them for a specific purpose. Please give me a new job. Please help me to bring a new baby into my life. Please help me with my like broken heart or depression. Please help my mom to get better. Please like do whatever I want for me. You ask them and you pray to them for a specific purpose. And to me, it seems very pagan-like, because like you have a certain deity that you pray to that is believed to be able to help resolve you this issue. And this is like the first part of the presence of the Russian paganistic belief in like modern Russian spiritual culture. The other thing is the like beliefs in the like, how do I say it, in the spiritual entities of the like lower level. So like, because obviously like in Russian like pagan mythology, you have your gods. You have your Perun, for example, a god of warriors, and a god of like Zeus, you know, a god of storms, warriors, lightning. That was the word that was trying to remember, etc. You do have your, for example, we have this god horse, which is associated with the sun. You have your like Mokosha, which is associated with womanhood and weaving and like DIY kind of stuff, you know. And you have all of the like many other gods, like Stribog, for example, which is associated with the wind, and like his associations are very murky, because like once again we don't have like a clear information. And like most information, also what is interesting, most of the information that we have about Russian pagan beliefs, we have them from other peoples. For example, we have out of records about Russian paganistic beliefs from Byzantium, from Rome, from Greece, from Arabic. From Arabic writers, and based on that, the modern Russian researchers they try to reconstruct the belief system that Russian people had before Christianity. So we have all of these gods, obviously, but like somehow, in some way, the more preserved, the better preserved part of Russian pagan belief system is the like lower level belief system. So it's belief in Baba Yaga, for example, which a lot of you heard about, or belief in like various like heroes like Bogatiri, for example, or believe in like lesser spirits, such as, for example, in Russia we have spirits of the home, which are called Domovoi, and Domovoi basically means like, I don't even know how to translate it properly, but like it means like of the home, because dom in Russian is home, or like house, like building where you live, where you reside, like constantly. So domovoi means of the home. And even today, you may encounter Russian people who believe in domovoi. They, for example, when you first move into a new apartment or like new house, basically, it is believed that like first of all you need to let the cat in first, so that it would kind of like check the energy and maybe like cleanse the space. Second of all, it is believed that the first night that you sleep in your new home, you should put some food and some milk or water for domovoi, so that it could like see that the new owners respect him and they care about him, and that like they acknowledge the presence of domovoi. And like it is believed that if your domovoi is pleased with you, uh, your home will be okay. Nothing will break. It will be somehow cleaner than it could be. It will be very homey, very cozy, very, I don't know, like energetically positive place that you will be happy to be living in. You also have like also bannik, a spirit of banya, which is like Russian sauna. Like right now in Russia, like obviously we go to banya, but it's not as important, because like if you live in a city, you don't have a banya, because banya is a separate building that you have nearby your cottage house, or like an attachment to your like cottage house. So like, but like in an apartment you don't have a banya, so people think less about, for example, this spirit. Uh, Obviously we have many other spirits, and we have many other things that we kind of believe in Russia, even that are like coming from the paganistic belief of the past. So another example that I could remember is that in Russia, you like we also have like this like very small like beliefs. Like for example, in Russia, you shouldn't, how to say it, you shouldn't mention a person that passed away, like no matter how long time ago. Well, if it's very long time ago, okay, but like for example, if it's your grandmother, or like grandmother that's passed away, like even up to 10 maybe years or whatever, like you shouldn't mention them if it's evening outside. And if it's like getting dark, you shouldn't mention them. And like if you do mention them, after mentioning them, I at least, and in my family, we would say "не к ночи помянутый," which means not to mention them before the night. Because it is believed that if you will mention them and like won't say this like particular phrase, there is a certain chance that they will come visit you, and like it won't be a nice visit. It will be more of a like you burden them by mentioning them. It's like, mentioning God's name in vain, but in this case, it's mentioning your ancestors' name in vain, so you shouldn't mention them. Just like just in case. And another relic of the paganistic beliefs in Russia that we have is belief in the traditional pagan holidays. So the most important pagan holiday that we still celebrate up to date, and it's actually one of my most favorite holidays, is Maslenitsa. Maslenitsa, I love it so much because Maslenitsa is a holiday that celebrates the end of winter, and like despite being Russian, I hate winter. I don't like it. And Maslenitsa celebrates the end of winter, and Maslenitsa basically means like, I don't know, the week of butter, uh, because this week comes before the Great Lent, where you cannot, and we all know that during Lent you don't eat anything. And like in Russia, there are people that are very serious about that. And like, for example, even my father, he would during Great Lent, like not eat the stuff that you cannot eat, and like he loses a lot of weight. Not sure if it's okay, but like whatever, he believes in it. I'm not going to do anything about that. And like during Maslenitsa you eat a lot, and the most important thing that you eat during Maslenitsa is crepes, crepe, the pancakes, but they are more French-like. They are not thick, they are very thin, they are like almost like paper thin, they are see-through. Russian blini, basically. um, I don't know how prevalent Russian blini in America, so I think crepe would be a easier thing for you to understand. And like you eat crepes all the week, and you eat them with anything, with berries, with condensed milk, with meat, with mushrooms, with like tvorog, which is like cottage cheese type of thing. So you eat blinis, you celebrate, you everyone is so happy because like finally the winter is over. And like not only I, but like many people in Russia actually don't like winter. We can bear through it, not doesn't mean that we like it. And so we eat blinis, and like each day of the week, like it also like has its own meaning. So for example, during this day you go to your wife's house to feed her parents. During that day, your you like your wife and you go to your parents' house, and then you are celebrating with them. During like other day you do this other thing. So each day of the week is important. It's celebrated like separately. Well, it's all together, but like you have different rituals for every day of the week. And then you have Sunday, and on Sunday it's like it's forgiveness day, where you should ask everyone around you for forgiveness. Um, well, it's mostly about like your relatives and your friends. So for example, if you just ask them like, if I ever done anything wrong to you, please, I'm like sorry, I just want to come clear. I know we are not we are not perfect, and like everyone ask everyone for forgiveness. And then on Sunday, once again, as it's like the last day, we also celebrate the end of winter, and we celebrate it by burning the effigy of winter. It's a little bit dangerous because this effigy, Maslenitsa effigy, she's like big. It's a woman. It represents woman. It represents winter, and like you burn the winter to bring the spring. And like this effigy is quite big, and like sometimes it can be a little bit dangerous, but it's such a great celebration, such a great fair. And like after Maslenitsa, you have like Great Lent, and like it's very calm down. But why I'm talking about Maslenitsa so much, because it is celebrated as like an Orthodox holiday, because you see, I was talking about the Great Lent and whatever. But initially it was a pagan holiday, because once again it is a typical pagan holiday that celebrates the end of winter, the start of spring, the start of the new cycle, basically. And once again, this burning of this effigy, like it was before Christianity, I believe. And I think that not only it is my belief, but it is researched. And it is typical pagan holiday that was transformed into Christian holiday. But still, it has so much of pagan imagery. The Balinese itself, all these Russian pancakes, they are round and they are yellow. They basically represent the sun. You make all of these Balinese to kind of like celebrate that the sun is coming back. The days are getting longer. The sun is getting warmer. It's getting like the nature is reviving. And once again, burning the effigy, I think it's a very prominent ritualistic pagan ritual. Once again, like act that shows that you want to bring the heat, you want to burn away the winter. It's not at all Christian. It's more paganistic in its essence, and and so yeah, like a lot of like pagan beliefs, pagan rituals, pagan things, they are still very prominent in Russian mythology. And like today, obviously, like we should be talking about that today, most of people in Russia are atheist, or for example, they have belief that they have a belief in something, like there's like the energy of the universe or whatever, but it's not like they particularly believe in like Christianity or Slavonic religion or whatever. But like when we are talking about the part of the Russian community that have like this more like more established beliefs, so well, I'm a Christian, or for example they say, well, I'm an Orthodox Christian, not just Christian, Orthodox Christian. When you look closer into what they believe in, most probably you will see that they have quite a lot of paganistic beliefs in their system, in their spirituality. And it would always be like that in Russia, I believe. The Christianity that tried to raise the pagan identity of the Slavonic tribes, well, it didn't do a good job at that. And like I think that to a degree it was not like premeditated, but like it would be easier for Orthodox Christianity to come to Russia if it would just try to merge with the pre-existing beliefs. So it's much easier to make people believe in Christianity if you will just explain to them that like Perun, which is the god of lightning and warriors, is actually like this Christian saint, and like they are the same. So like you can just believe in your Christian saint, and like it will be just as same as believing in Perun, for example. So basically, and also like I forgot to talk about all of the fairy tales and all of other things, because the other way how pagan beliefs were kind of reconstructed from the oblivion that they were in are Russian traditional fairy tales. Because surprisingly, we can think of fairy tales as just like, you know, stories for children that you don't really care about, but it is a very important part of reconstructing the traditional beliefs. And Russian fairy tales, they weren't like touched by Christianity and by the changing of religion paradigm, so they were allowed to like be saved and to develop and to continue and to be told one generation to the next. And they kind of helped Russian pagan beliefs to be saved and preserved. For example, Baba Yaga, it is a real it is a real entity in the lore of the traditional Slavonic beliefs, but it kind of like was preserved and most widely known because of her part in the Russian fairy tales, because like she's this entity that kind of helps the main hero, but also kind of stops him and can be like an enemy to the main hero. And like she is believed to be this person that is between the worlds, the like our world and the, you know, the other world, the supernatural world, the world of spirits. So like she's acting like this door, and if you can find a key to it, so in most of Russian like fairy tales, if you can trick Baba Yaga, or if you can prove to her that you're smart enough or you're like strong enough, she will let you in. She will let you into this other world where you can do some like supernatural stuff, or where you can find some artifacts that will help you in your quest. And fairy tales are very important, songs are very important, and even today, what is also interesting, even today, in Russian removed faraway villages, you have all of these ladies, these grandmothers, that are usually called just like that, grandmothers, babushkas, that you can go to, and that you can get like some, not even like psychic help, it's more like a magical ritualistic help from them. So for example, you can go to these babushkas, and they still know some spells and incantations that were like given to them like generation from generation to generation, that they can use, and it is believed that they can, like, of course, like help you, heal you, help you in your marriage, help you with like whatever obstacles you're facing, and like just like make your life better. But like, you know, it's not, how do I put it? Obviously, like most of the people, they don't believe this, but quite a lot of people still do, and they still go and find these babushkas and go to them and get their like spells from these old ladies, and get their like help, and get incantations and cleansing rituals done by these babushkas. And it's very interesting. And like this part of the Russian like Slavonic belief system, it's still like it was kind of conserved and preserved, because like it's so far away, and it's so far removed from the like main cities, that nobody really cared about that. So we also have that. And it's it's also not Orthodox at all. It's not Christian. Once again, even they might sometimes use the names of the saints, but the rituals themselves, so for example, like you have using herbs, using using metals to cleanse you. For example, you take metal, you heat it up so it becomes liquid, then you put it over cold water, and like you kind of, by doing that, you're like pouring, like it's called like pouring away the basically like your problems, so whatever negative energy you have. Выливание, it's called in Russian. It could be done with metal. Usually it's like, oh my god, what it's called, like plum. I will put it on the screen what kind of metal I'm talking about. Plum, I believe, olova. Or it's done with wax, with candles. So herbs, candles, metals, incantations, spells, using water, saying that like you will have to go during the night on the crossroads and do that or do this, or you have to take this like little sack with something and you have to bury it on the ground, like at this particular place. It's all very paganistic, but like and even during these rituals they may call to Jesus or Mary or saints, but the ritual itself is paganistic. So at least that's what I know, because like my mom and even I we went to these kind of people, and like, you know what, sometimes they actually do help. Sometimes like you come to them, you do all of these rituals, and your problems they get fixed, like just like that, like you couldn't explain it, but it gets fixed. So to a degree I kind of believe it, not like 100%, but I can say that I had some positive experiences with that. So like on this note, I'll be ending my video. It's quite a long video as it is, and this is my personal experience with Russian belief system, Russian spirituality, how it's also orthodox, and actually there's a lot of pagan elements in it. So if you liked my video, please press like and subscribe. please discuss it in the comments. I will be so happy to hear from you. Maybe you have some ideas, maybe you have like some topics that I kind of covered in this video, but you want me to talk more about something from this video. Maybe you just want to say that I'm a fraudster and you don't believe me. Whatever you want, please comment down below. I'll be always happy to talk to you and to discuss everything. Press like, subscribe, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video.